the assembly for the vertical inverted dropper bottle paint rack from Ironheart Artisans. It holds 70 bottles, dropper bottles. So right now we're just going through with the blunt end of a paintbrush and pushing out all the cuts. All the cuts are completely cut through already, so they should just pop out pretty easily. First we're going to take the spines that run in the back of all of the racks, just using Loctite professional grade super glue here, and we're going to glue on the front holders there. Now you don't want to use this one that I'm doing. You're going to look for the one that has a flat edge to start with. It's at the bottom. In a second you're going to see me pull this off and replace it with the correct one, which is on the right side of the screen there. But they all go on exactly the same. I just put a dab of glue on either side of the top and bottom edge of the slot and then just lay them in place. Yep, there it is. That's the one you want. You want the one with the flat edge to go on the bottom. It finishes off nicely. Okay, and then I'm just going to complete out the rest of these. They're all identical, and it can be a little out of square at the moment with the two stems, but once you put on the rear braces, which we'll do next, it will square it up. So now we're going to take the rear braces that have little triangles, and this is where your drop bottle tips will slide into, and they will go into the slots, and you want to make sure that it goes all the way into that slot completely on either of the spines there. And then we'll just run right up the back, putting all of those in place. And then we're going to put on the back panel. Now it has the holes in the back panel so that it can be hung on the wall where the teardrop shape. So the top is obviously the narrow part, and you'll want the big curves that are on the front faces to be the bottom of the rack. Now there are a couple of tabs on the spines that will stick through further than the rest of the tabs on the back, and that's to give it some support off the back of the wall. It'll make sense after we put the spacers on, but you'll see that these tabs will be sticking through flush, and then there'll be 4 tabs that actually stick through about 2 millimeters further than the rest, and that's going to happen on the bottom as well, so that if you don't want to mount it on the wall, you can just sit it on your desk. So now we're going to find the bottom here, and again just a couple of dabs of glue on either side of each opening. I like to use super glue because it moves fast. If you want to use wood glue, you can use wood glue. This type of glue, this type of material, this MDF, is very rough, and it takes glue very quickly, so it'll grab. So now we're going to do the top. The top piece has the cutout curves for the bottles to stick up the edge so they don't get in the way, so you're grabbing them. Same thing again, get the 2 spines started and then push in the back panel. Alright, and now we're going to go on our sides. Now it's best to double check the alignment on your sides first, and I mean is which way, which piece you have. So just dry fit it or hold it up to make sure your slots are going at the right angle. And then you're going to put a drop of glue on each side, and I do the whole thing at once. Now when you're putting these on, I always start at either the top or bottom and then slowly work my way down the edge, and basically all you'll need to do is reach in with your finger and push the whole tab left, right, up and down a little bit. And once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward, but you can look down. It's a lot easier for you to look down. If there's a camera in my way, I'm trying to push them in now, but both tabs, there's enough wiggle that you can do it, and move the tabs around. Just reach in with your finger and do it, but start at one end and slowly work it down. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. And there you are. Good to go, ready to mount on the wall after we put on our spacers. So these little spacers basically will make it so those stabs that stuck out and then the whole frame is all at the same level. And it's the same on the bottom if you decide you wanted to just sit it on your desk or screw through the bottom panel into your desk or your surface or whatever. With any kind of paint rack, I like to give them a spray of like either a matte white or a satin white with a rattle can, so that the light reflects around in all the corners so you can see the paint clear. There you go.